Hey everybody, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy, and welcome to Lunch with Norm. I am going to be introducing to you one of my really great friends, one of my non-Amazon really great friends, that's going to tell you a little bit about why she got off Amazon and what she's doing now. So, anyways, why don't you sit back, grab a coffee or grab your lunch, and just sit back for a half hour and enjoy. And Kelsey, what are we supposed to do?
You can follow us on all the social media platforms, TikTok, that's a new one, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and be sure to follow us on the I Know This Guy podcast too that just came out. So new episodes every Tuesday.
And ring that bell. That's my only thing. I can't remember all that other stuff, but I can remember ring that bell. So, with no further ado, I'd like to welcome Elena Saris.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. I thought we'd have lunch in the park because it's such a beautiful day. What do you think?
You know what? I would die to. No, I wouldn't. I would love to have lunch in the park, but yeah.
I just wanted people to know that's why I'm here and we're not about to do carpool karaoke.
You are in the park. You're not even in your house.
No, I'm not in my house. I'm in the park in a car.
All right. So, Elena, we've gone back a long ways. We've known each other for years. And she is an incredible lady. Elena, why don't you tell us just a little bit about your background?
Okay. I took the traditional route to e-commerce. I went to law school for for years and was a criminal defense lawyer for I still am actually, and I was in the public defender's office in Los Angeles for 25 years. Somewhere in there, I worked in a couple years as a stand-up comic, which was kind of fun at night at a little club called the Ha Ha Cafe in North Hollywood. I had my own show on Thursdays, which was cool. And one day I just decided that I was going to, learn how to make money online doing something. And I thought, well, I know how to be a lawyer, so I'm going to teach people how to be better at doing trials. I recorded all these videos and my friend says, oh, you should market those on Facebook. I'm like, videos? Like, what do you mean market? Like advertise on Facebook? Isn't that where you like stalk your ex and take pictures of your food? Like, what are you talking about? And they told me that you can put ads. And so I found this course called Facebook Ads Cracked. And I was selling t-shirts off of Teespring. And all of a sudden, I started selling money. Money was coming in. And I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck? And the t-shirts were working, but I went to market the videos teaching people how to be a better lawyer. I learned the first rule of selling on the internet, which is no one's going to buy anything unless you're teaching them how to get laid, how to get paid, or how to get skinny. And that was it. And my videos did not cover any of those because it didn't even cover how to get paid as a lawyer because I was a public defender. Like, when they say, if you want a lawyer and can't afford one will be appointed to you. That was me and like 750 of my closest friends in Los Angeles. So I never had to worry about getting clients. I didn't know how to get clients. I wasn't a rainmaker, but I was a marketer. That's what I knew. And I knew that the same things that I was telling jurors, in terms of trying to persuade them would work in terms of selling. And so this opportunity called Amazon came up and I jumped on that bandwagon in, I think 2014, 13 or 14 and did really well until I didn't. And then this opportunity called Shopify came up and then the sky's the limit now with that.
So let's go back to Amazon.
Okay.
You want to just tell us why you went from Amazon and we're looking for alternatives?
Sure. Shout out to Wadi. I just saw somebody say hi. So this is live. And I'm not used to this, but these little things pop up going, hey, Elena. So anyway, yeah. Am I supposed to do that? Is that
yeah. And Alan as well. So
Alan as well.
Alan
Yes.
and Wadi.
So anyway, I was selling on Amazon. I actually got into probiotics. That's how much of the Wild West it was. And I had the number 2 probiotic, just a stupid private label I made from a place in the States that did this. I didn't know what a probiotic was, but here I was, number 2 for the probiotic. And money was coming in and it was great. And then these Amazon courses started to like proliferate and all these people started coming in and I saw the writing on the wall and I said, forget it. I'm getting out of the competition stuff. So I jumped at a really good time back when everyone was starting to get into supplements. I got out, took the money and ran and started doing like just a stable of small little products. I saw the writing on the wall. I had a connection in Yiwu, China, which was selling like, a place where you can go and get things that can sell for like $20 and under. And so I just made it like 20, 30 of those. At one point, I think I had like 30 to 35. And they were things like a steering wheel cover, a butter dish, that stupid little plastic thing your kids have to play in school, the recorder, and, I was taking trips to China. I was, the whole thing. So, it was great. I mean, they were selling like between 200 and 400 units a day each. I had no hijackers because I was so low under the radar. And like, I would get the recorder for like, I was being lazy at one point. I could get it in China for 65 cents, but there was a guy in like 2 towns over who said, hey, I can put your label on mine for 90 cents. I'm like, done and done. And I would literally drive over, pick it up in my little Mini Cooper. I would, wrap it up, send it to Amazon and sell it for $12 to $14. And I was pocketing, $2 to $4 per sale times 2 to 400 times 30 products. I mean, it was a good deal. And then all of a sudden, like I started getting, I had one good private label, big product still. And that was a main one. But then all of a sudden, like little store names started to pop up on the butter dish. And the butter dish that I was selling for like $12.99 started selling for like $7.99. I'm like, how the heck can they do that? Because the shipping and all that. And it turns out it was one of Amazon's little stores with those play names they have that doesn't say Amazon. And pretty soon my whole thing got wiped out. Like, I just couldn't compete with those numbers. I would have to like lose $2 a sale. But I had that one main item, not the probiotic, but something else. And like, around end of October or end of September, I think it was 2016. Somebody said I was hijacking their listing, and there was just this fake complaint to get rid of me because I had been number one for so long. And I was like, this is easy. I've got 2 years worth of invoices. I've got pictures of me in the factory. I'm going to figure this out. They're going to figure it out, and I'll get my listing back any minute. It came back December 27th or 8th, something like that. And I had ordered like, I don't remember, between $40,000 and $60,000 worth of inventory, which took me until the next May to sell through. And I would have sold all of that in that month. So I was not a happy camper, but I stayed the course for a while. And then the next year it happened again. And it was the same exact thing. And I'm like, we just did this last year. And that killed the first 2/3 of my fourth quarter. And then that spring, when on one of the trips that I had a company called Source in Asia and would take people to China, which is the trip you were on, a fellow stood up and started talking about the opportunities on Shopify. And he's a wonderful guy. And he brought his friend who was 23 years old. And they were literally talking about one of them made 8 million and one of them made 20 million in less than 2 years. And I was like, I'm in the wrong line of work. Because I mean, these were not the kind of guys, you meet some people and they stand up and they start talking and you're like, wow, that dude, like he's MIT material, man. I can't do that. These were not those kind of guys. I was like, dang, if this guy can do it, and that was that.
I got to tell you that you ran Source in Asia, which was a company that would bring people over and introduce people into the Chinese market, Yiwu specifically. And Bella's on right now. So Bella was somebody that you introduced me to as my sourcing agent in China. And I just noticed that she's on. She says hi.
Hey, Bella, miss you. Yeah, our company was, and Tony. Hi, Tony. Our company was the first one to offer every single person their own sourcing agent. Excuse me, which was really cool because you had that personal connection when you went home. And I was not ever intending. I mean, I thought we would still be doing that, but the Shopify opportunity was just too good to pass up.
Right. All right. So let's talk about the next step. Amazon pissed you off. You started looking for something else. So what are you doing? And are you making a few dollars at it?
Yeah, making a couple bucks here and there, enough to afford gas to get to the park for lunch with you,
Oh, awesome.
What happened was I opened a general store and I thought because I was so successful on Amazon that I'd be really good at it. So I just like put ads up on Facebook. I will say this, Amazon brings you traffic. Okay. And everything that I'm going to say that is wrong with Amazon, and I'm not necessarily trying to poo-poo Amazon. If it works for you, great. I would not recommend to a new person who just wanted to start online going into Amazon as a private label seller. I would tell them to go in as a wholesaler on Amazon if they're just starting, especially if they don't have I honestly believe it's going to take $10,000 to $15,000 these days to really start properly on Amazon. That's just my personal opinion. I've been out of that game for going on a year and a half completely. So I started a general store, and it was literally churn and burn, like all the things that you hear about drop shipping, like, oh, you can't get from AliExpress and everyone's going to hate you, and it's 2 months for the item to get in. I mean, there's one fellow who sells a high ticket course. I won't name him, but he spends so much time like dissing drop shipping and the way that we do it, these small items right to the store. And every time he posts a screenshot for his like month, that would be like our day. And I don't want to just, I'm never going to like comment on his post, but this is alive and well. If people are telling you that you can't drop ship from AliExpress, they're not telling you the truth. And even during COVID-19, Tony had a question about COVID-19. I mean, we have to find alternative shippings, and sometimes we have to bring the stuff in bulk to be safe.
Hey, Elena.
Yeah.
We just cut out ever since. It was so nice. Actually, I wouldn't say that. I was going to say, oh, Elena, not talking. But we cut out for about last 15, 20 seconds.
Okay. So I was saying that the Shopify, the drop shipping is not dead. Okay. So there's a lot of people that are teaching other courses telling you that drop shipping is dead. You can't get stuff from China anymore. There are issues with shipping right now from China, but they're temporary, and they're like 8 to 15 days is what I'm getting. And because most of those people who are interested in what I'm talking about right now are Amazon sellers, they think it's completely unrealistic that anybody in the world would wait 8 to 15 days for sending them. But it's just not true so long as you're transparent. The number one thing about buying online, so I will say this, Amazon gives you traffic and Amazon gives you trust. So when I am selling online, I am putting ads on your Facebook newsfeed. I am showing you something so bizarre, so unique, so original, so problem solving, so, oh my gosh, that you're sitting there stalking your ex, looking at cat videos, taking pictures of your food, and you see what I have and you go, oh my God, I had no idea that even existed. I totally want it. I'm going to get my credit card. Please don't go away. And that is the reaction I try and get in someone. So it's not a thought through purchase. It's not I'm looking for the lowest price. It's a 1000% impulse buy. You're on a road trip to Arkansas. You stop for gas, and there is the 8-track of Sean Cassidy that you always wanted sitting next to the cash register, and you have to have it.
Okay. So can you give an example? You don't have to get into your products, but just kind of an example of.
I'll give you one of my products that did really well was a cargo shorts for men. I don't suggest doing clothes, by the way. These cargo shorts for men came down to your like mid-calf. I mean, they were like the girliest male cargo shows in the history of the world. And that thing did $150,000 in like less than a month. It was crazy. Other things that I have sold, crazy ice scrapers.
Okay. Let's stop at the ice scraper. An ice scraper is an ice scraper is an ice scraper.
This looked like, yeah.
If I wanted an ice scraper, I'd go to Amazon.
You'd go to Amazon, but
how did you get around that?
There was an ice scraper that looked like an agility cone, and it just literally looked like a traffic cone. And there was a picture of a really weird looking dude just, and I guess, being able to scrape ice off in a circle rather than a line. Listen, I'm in LA, I'm in the park. I haven't scraped ice off a car in my life, but apparently people wanted this. And so it turns out I had a USA supplier for it. And that thing did almost over $150,000 in less than a month in like between January and February, which is not, a great month for a lot of e-com sellers.
Do you go back like this winter? Are you going to be selling it again?
Well, it was 2 winters ago. So this winter I sold it, but it didn't do great because, the wow factor was gone.
Right.
And the wow factor was, and remember, these people aren't looking for an ice scraper. These people are on Facebook. So I just needed to show them something that intrigued them. And that is the whole goal. So yes, I have to drive traffic that Amazon doesn't do, right? Amazon doesn't do that for me. And yes, I have to have a website that looks very professional, like you're not going to take their money. So I have an 800 phone number that is answered by a live human being who speaks English. I have a call center now because I'm really big. When I started, I just had my 800 number and a good email. And I was just very transparent. Hey, they think the product is unique, so they don't mind waiting, please allow 2 to 3 weeks for shipping. And that did not kill conversions. As long as they know, I truly believe everyone is concerned about being scammed online. 90% of the people that bought from me the first year, because it's different now in 2017, thought they were buying from Facebook. They had no idea, like they didn't understand that it was like a person advertising on a store. And we would get returns from other sellers selling the same thing. They didn't even buy it from us. And they would return something saying it's the wrong size. And we're like, well, then you should probably contact the company that you gave your money to. But they didn't know. They had bought it. Then they're on Facebook. My ad comes because Facebook recognizes them as someone who might be interested in this now because they bought it. My eyes are going down because Norm is over here. I just realized that. On my screen, I'm going to keep looking at the dot. So they didn't understand where they had necessarily bought it from. So that part is a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But the beauty of the Shopify experience is like, and I mean, I would take the next hour listing it. We get our customers. I have 30 on one store. So I have the general store that just does the churn and burn. Hey, oh yeah, okay, makeup brushes are that look like mermaid tails are trending. I'm going to put that up on my store. Now, in order to put that up on my store, I literally take a picture of it, put it up, write a little description, decide what to price it, and it's live. Sometimes I don't even know where I'm getting it from. I mean, if it's trending, I know it's for sale somewhere on AliExpress, so I'll find it. So, I can test 4 to 5 products a week if I want to. It costs me about $200 to $250 to test a product. Like that's how much I'm going to lose if I really bomb, which is fine. I mean, compare that to Amazon, which maybe if you have a lot of money, you can test 3 products a year. And it's going to cost you $4,000 to test, if you're really doing it right with private label and launches and all of that. And, all this research and keywords and, you know how I do my research on Facebook? I buy stuff off of Facebook ads, just random stuff. And that way Facebook puts ads on my personal profile in front of me because they see me as a buyer on Facebook. So, and it's great because I get to write that off as R&D. Right. I buy this on Facebook. Oh, it's research. I was just looking to see. So I have 30,000 customers on one store. Okay. So I was saying you do the churn and burn. When you get something that sells, you can create a new store that's just for that. So I have an automotive store because the ice scraper store worked. The ice scraper worked, right? I put that in its own store and now I can sell anything else for the car and it's all very related. So I have a lot of returning customers and, people I can retarget. On my main store, the one that took off like that, I have 30,000 existing customers. That means every time I want to test something new, I have 30,000 emails. I can email them all the time. I can retarget them. If they bought this necklace, maybe they'll want this ring or this pillow. I can put anything I want under frequently bought together. I can suggest anything. I can have upsells. I can have cross sells. I can text them a message saying, hey, looks like you left something in your cart. And then there's a link. And when they click that link, they don't just come to my store, they go to their cart. I mean, all of those things that you don't have the ability to do on Amazon. Hey, Melissa.
Yeah, there's Melissa. Okay, so you could even use this. So let's say you decide to stay in Amazon and you still want to do this.
Okay.
You've got 30,000 customers. There's your product tester list.
There's your product tester list. Let's say you only have 2,000 customers. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say you've got an Amazon store doing pretty well and you've been selling for, let's say you just have it to, like a lot of people, we just did it to look legitimate. We opened a Shopify store so that retailers, wholesalers, suppliers, whatever would look at us and think we were legit. And maybe it's only been a year, but maybe we've accumulated in a year 2,000 customers, which isn't hard at all. Now we have those customer names. We can either scrape those. We'd have to actually scrape those to get them into a Facebook thing, but we could create a Facebook group. This is how I would do it. I would create a Facebook group around what I'm selling. First a fan page. Then I would invite those people. So if I have barbecue gloves, I'm going to have a Facebook fan page about barbecue. And then I'm going to bring some of those people, I'm going to entice them into a Facebook group. Okay. And then I will test products by putting a post in there. If I'm in the page, I'll boost the post and say, which glove do you like better? Or are you looking for a mat? Or do you grill more vegetables? Or do you grill more fish to get one of those little, mats or something? And that's maybe a $3 to $5 ad, right? And then when I have my group, we can say, hey, you guys are the first to have this new product and you can offer rebates for the velocity of sales. I'm not saying you should ask for reviews, but you could potentially talk about how important reviews are to your Amazon business in that group. The other thing you could do is you could create one of these churn and burn stores. And you could actually find a product that is similar to your niche. So let's say you're selling, barbecue. You get these crazy looking, I think one of the example I have is these tongs, but the hands look like the clipper thing that you turn to look like big clown hands. And you get those for 90 cents and you sell those for $12.99 or even $9.99. You break even, or you do free plus shipping, which I don't really like that model, but you could. And then charge $4 or $5 for shipping. But I like to have it where it's like $9.99, $12.99. Then when people, and you don't have to use your brand. So if your brand is like Max's Famous Barbecue Accessories, you can just call this, Barbecue Land. Doesn't matter. You can come up with any name you want. And then that the people who bought that from you, you place the ad to that item, you make the price so enticing that people buy it. And what you know now is that the person who bought this from you shops online, off of Facebook, has a credit card, and likes to barbecue. And now you're building your own list of Facebook customers that you can then send links to your Amazon directly because you have their email, you have their SMS text.
I'm wondering if you go one step further. I don't know if you've explored it, but using a profiling app that it's a gamified profile. So you've got the name, you send it over to the person, they can win, they have a chance of winning a $100 Amazon gift card or whatever, Visa card, and you get them to answer in a fun way these 20 questions. And now you've got the profile of the person, everything that you know exactly what you want to sell to them. You know if it's a male or a female,
right?
You know their age group.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be something to take a look at.
Wait, I think we get a little bit of a loss.
Oh, there we go. I think we're back.
Okay. I think that's great, but let me just tell you, who are the creepiest people in the history of the world in terms of spying on us?
Oh, Cambridge Analytica.
Oh, Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook.
I mean, I don't know if you saw that meme where there's a little boy and he's typing on the computer and Mark Zuckerberg's behind him and he says, my dad says, you're spying on us. And Mark looks down and says, he's not your dad. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Hey, Kelly. So what you're saying, yes, I think that's great. It sounds complicated to my non-tech, non-math little brain. When I get my customer list, like I just did this morning on a brand new item I'm selling, I have like 70 sales on it. And I just say filter by selection. And Facebook tells me how old the people are that buy it, whether they're men or women, what device they're on. Are they on an Android? Are they on an iPhone? Are they on a desktop? Did they see this on Instant Article? Did they see this in their news feed? Did they see this are they on mobile? And then my ads are only going to women 45 to 65 on a mobile device in the news feed. And that's how specific I can get. So I can get my demographic that honed in. But I like your idea a lot because there's a lot of, there's a big word that I can't remember about, like a psychological demographic that Facebook can't give you. They can really only give you a physical demographic. So that's a great idea.
Well, thank you. I get them once in a while. So anyways, hey, just a couple of shout outs to Angela and Messi and Kelly. So Messi has a question. She says, "That's gold, Elena. Do you always create a new site for new products, or do you have a base site? You know what? I'm an old guy and I need thicker glasses. Do you have a base site that you can repurpose for new product testing and launches?"
I have a base site and I have a couple of them. So what I do is I don't have a one product store. There's something called a one product store where you are just selling that one product and maybe variations. And that could be like sunglasses, right? That's just one product, but you can have a lot of variations of it. And other times it can just be literally one product. That's all you sell, like a USB portable air conditioner for your desk. And that's the only thing available in the store. I don't have those. I think they're great. I just don't have the time and the energy to create one. So what I'll do in my general store, which will sell everything from automotive to musical instruments to, cargo shorts for men, I'll have that as a full tester. And then I have like a little satellite of like, okay, the auto thing sold. So now I have an auto store, which is a pretty broad niche when you think about it, because you can sell an umbrella in an auto store. You can sell, road trip stuff in an auto store. There's a lot you can do with that. And then I have a brand store, which is where like something just took off. And I know that demographic is, if you can have something take off for, that a demographic of women 45 and over, you're golden, because those are the people that shop online. So that is what I would call my main brand store. And then I have 2 niche stores, and then I have this complete general store that is like anything goes.
Always Shopify?
All of them on Shopify, yeah. Shopify, you can get a store, $30 a month for the basic, and then it goes up to like $80 a month if you want to do more things, which is just basically have more helpers is the main thing, like more people sign on.
Do you ever look for any recurring revenue products?
Yeah, in the sense of not consumables. I won't sell things that like consumable in the sort of overall, definition of like a vacuum bag used to be. Like, all right, like it's consumable, meaning it's you use it, you need another one. I don't personally, I won't sell things that go in your body or on your skin. I'm just not going to get into that, especially on Facebook. Not just so beauty products are really hard. I mean, people do it, don't get me wrong. It's just really complicated to sell a beauty product without a before and after picture. You have to be really kind of not shady, but it's just more effort than I'm willing to do. Let's just say that. And you need a bunch of accounts and backups, and I'm not willing to do. And you don't need to, because there's so much money in the stuff that's just regular plastic doodads, So yeah, I definitely try to find something, definitely that's something that people want more than one of. That's huge. If and the ice scraper was that. I mean, my biggest example is always, what is a toilet plunger, something that removes the dent on your car, and a magnetic eyelash, fake eyelash have in common, right? And at first blush, you would say, I have no idea. But then you look at it and you say, okay, they're all products women will buy for the house or themselves. They're all products you probably want more than one of, because you sometimes have a toilet plunger like at each bathroom.
Or
you have a gift or a dent, a thing, a dent in your car. You keep it, in your car. Your son has a car, something like that. And women with their eyelashes, they'll want backups, and they might want one at the gym, one at the office, things like that. They solve a problem. And this is huge. It has to solve a problem. And it doesn't have to be life-threatening problem. I mean, toilet plunger is a big problem to solve. You can live your whole life with a dent in your car. I mean, it doesn't have to be like CPR solves a problem, right? It can be a problem to that person at that moment. And then, getting gluey stuff on your eyes when you try and put on glue fake eyelashes is kind of a pain in the butt. So those are really good things to look for in terms of products that move, and there is a trade-off. You have to drive the traffic, and you have to show them that you're professional. But I mean, any day of the week to get my customers' names. And listen, they write a review. There's a little thing on Shopify where you can approve a review or not. And I'll just leave it at that.
That's nice. Okay, I know you're short on time.
Yeah, let's get to some questions.
Kelsey, are there any other questions? Okay, here's Tony. Okay, Elena,
I see it. And has the drop shipping from China on Shopify, has this business model been affected with COVID-19? It was affected, yeah, especially because it hit right after the Chinese New Year. So it was kind of a double whammy. Right when we thought things were going to be opening up, things closed down. And so I think it helped to have cash, because I was able to buy in bulk and bring it to the United States, the things that I was selling. And I saw the writing on the wall a lot earlier than a lot of people. And I had already been bringing it in bulk because of Chinese New Year. And I have really good, suppliers there. So it did for a while. It's all coming back. And I think now, even with ePacket being almost completely gone, or like ePacket's like 35 days now, my shipping times are between 8 and 15 days on the things that I get directly from China. Totally acceptable. Yeah. Okay, but I do bring things in from the US, but you don't have to, but I do. And, it's a smart thing to do. Once you know you have a seller, like if you have an evergreen product, I have a product that pretty much on its own sells 50 units a day, and with effort sells 100 units a day. And I just ordered another 16,000 of those. And at the end of this month, I'll order another 20,000 for Christmas.
Okay. Another question here from Messi. Got another question. Do you ship directly? Okay. I'll let you just.
Okay. Do you ship directly from China to customers, or do you keep storage in the US? If shipping from China is still working, how long does it take now? That was it. That was exactly what we just said. So I personally will keep some storage. Because I know my product's selling, I will not do that on a testing item. I definitely now, even if I think I'm going to bring it in to the US, I will wait till I'd sold, I don't know, probably 100 units, to do that. And 100 units, I mean, again, I can't tell you, people don't freak out as long as you follow up,
Yeah.
especially with COVID. People are really understanding with COVID. Like, we wrote, because we were really hit even in the US. I mean, I had my New Jersey factory shut down for 4 days. And I just sent out a mass email because I have their email, because they're my customers, because it's my store. And I'm not building Amazon's customer list. I'm building Elena's customer list.
No way.
Yeah. And I just said, look, thank you for your understanding. And I of course had nothing to do with the warehouse, but I just wrote an email saying, we're restructuring our factory for social distancing. I have no idea what my factory was doing, but I told these folks, I reassured them that everything was fine. We didn't steal their money. Their product was coming.
Okay. Last thing.
Mm-hmm.
Very quickly. I know we're out of
time.
We're good.
You got 2 more minutes.
Okay.
All right.
Can you shotgun just the steps going from to get a new product? So you've already product tested. You've seen that the product worked. Where do you go? AliExpress, and then just kind of go down a 3 or 4 step.
Okay, so you've done a little bit of research. You have spy software that you can buy that shows you what ads are trending, or you, like me, you buy stuff and you just see what's coming on your newsfeed. You look and you're like, oh my gosh, that thing was on only 1 day and it's got 20 likes and 40 comments. I'm commenting on this ad. And when I comment on an ad, that means I get, every time someone comments, I see more. And if that keeps like going like that with twice as many comments as likes, twice as many shares as comments, I'm on it. Go to AliExpress. I type in the name. AliExpress has the most ridiculous search engine in the world. So you have to be really funky with, what you write. It's not like Google. It's not like whatever those Boolean, whatever you call that thing. It is hard to, but then you find it. And then you see what the shipping time is. And then you see what the shipping cost is. And then you say, oh, I can get this for $2. It's going to cost me $3.15 though, because of what's going on, to get it to the US in a timely manner. So I got a $5.15 product. I don't even call the supplier at that point. I put it up on my thing. And if I get a sale, I do it from the best supplier I can find on Ali that has the highest ranking and the cheapest price. Once that happens, I start calling around to some agents in China that do drop shipping. And I'm like, how much can you get for me? And I'll even go a little higher if they're willing to get something for me, because I know it's more stable for that. So that's it. And literally I press a button. It's all automated. What happens is the automation throws all the customer's information to the guy in China. The guy in China gets it, charges my credit card, $5, sends it directly to the customer. I never see it. I never touch it. I don't know what you mean by software. If you're talking about spy software, I'm kind of leaning towards Sell the Trend right now. It's called Sell the Trend, but there's Ad Spy. There's a lot out there. I don't suggest starting that way, though. I suggest starting by just looking at your newsfeed.
Yeah,
or typing in.
That's the simplest, right?
Yeah, type in the search bar. Like you type in looking for a friend from college, type in buy now. People are going crazy. Buy one, get one free. And you'll see, and then hit video and you'll see ads galore. Okay, this is me having to head out of Dodge.
All right. So very last thing, how do people get a hold of you, Elena?
How do people get a hold of me? I'm on Facebook. I'm terrible about it. I dropped my phone. I'm terrible about it. I don't know how I would just say, yeah, hit me up on Facebook or, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to do it anymore.
You know what? I could post it a little bit in the group if you like. I know you got to run.
You know what? I got to run. Yeah, there is a website. You can sign up for like a list. It's called www.wewillshowyouhow.com. Perfect. And you can sign up for a list, and that anything I'm doing, I put on that. But you have to do the www. Okay.
All right.
I'm running.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye, Elena. All right, everybody. So thank you for joining us. If you do have any questions, just please, just let us know. Put it in the comments. And Elena said that after she gets back, she'll be answering those questions for you right away. So Kelsey, at the end of the day, that was really quick. Hey, she can talk, boy, and she's good. I love her. But all right, so Kels, what do we got to do?
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you can like and share this, if you enjoyed this, and please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and follow our new podcast, I Know This Guy. It's different from eCommerce, talks about real people and their stories. So
their ups, their downs, and everything in between.
That's right. And
I got that line.
you nailed it.
All right. Okay, everybody. See you later. See you next Thursday. Have a good day.